Welcome back. In this video, we're going to be taking care of some just smaller maintenance issues. I'm going to start with an issue I discovered with the rear alignment, and I'm not quite sure what else we'll tackle in this video, but we'll tackle a few things, so stay tuned. So a couple of videos ago, you saw me do an alignment on the front. However, I didn't think about the back. I didn't really worry about it, and that was a poor choice on my part. So I did a full alignment, and driving down the road, my steering wheel is still at like a 5 to 10 degree angle, something like that, driving straight. So I threw a long straight edge, in this case an 8-foot level, on the back and realized my alignment is out in the back. And so we're going to address that. Real quick, let me kind of show you how you can kind of look at this. You need a long straight edge. It doesn't have to be a level, but it needs to be pretty straight. And let me see if I can do this with one hand while I hold the camera. So what you're going to want to do is, you can see that I've got it on the rubber on both sides. And then you can look at the spacing between the rear tire and the front tire. Now, I actually need to turn that wheel straight, but you can do this to both sides and look at the difference between the spacing of the straight edge and the front tire. In my case, both tires are pointed slightly to the passenger side. So I've got close to the front tire on this side and further away from the tire on the driver's side, which means that both tires are pointed slightly in that direction. And that would mean that I would need to turn my wheel slightly to the right to make this thing go straight. And going down the road, it's actually looks like it's probably crab walking. If you're paying close attention behind me, you might notice that the car actually looks like it's crab walking. So we need to make an adjustment. We have these right here, adjustable and tow arms, and so we should be able to adjust those pretty easily. Now with this rear diffuser on that you saw me put on in the last video, it might make it a little more difficult. We might have to drop this down to get to some of the stuff, but it shouldn't be too big of a job. So first step is to get these on some plastic bags with some oil in them just to make them slick, and loosen those up and adjust them so they're straight. Next, I am going to remove this stereo. I know I just rewired the whole car, including the stereo, but I've got a couple of issues. One, the mounts I used to put this subwoofer in were not strong enough. So that broke, which is fine. The car with the new engine is much louder inside of this tub than the old setup. Outside the car, I've gotten out of the car with it running, at least at an idle. There's not a huge difference. Like, it's not a lot louder outside the car, but for whatever reason, with the new muffler setup and the new 3-inch exhaust setup, it's just a lot louder inside. So, one, I am finding it that I need to wear ear protection anytime I drive this very far. Otherwise, my ears are not happy with me afterward, which means I really can't listen to this anyway. So I've been doing research, and I've picked out an intercom system that is really more designed for ATVs, but similar scenario, lots of wind noise, lots of noise from engines and driving. So I've got an ATV system shipped and on the way. It should be here in the next couple of days. So I'm going to rip this soundbar and the subwoofer out. I'm not going to need it. I'll probably remove, I don't know, 30 to 50 pounds from the car. So that'll be good. And the new intercom system should allow my wife and I, or whoever the passenger is, to be able to talk to each other It'll be good for HPDEs and road course work, so I can talk with whoever's riding with me. Right now I'm a novice, so and instructors who will be talking to me, but that'll be good. And we'll be able to hear each other out on the race course. So we're gonna get to it. Intercom system arrived. It is the S4S version 3, and I'm doing a full unboxing and review of this because there just isn't a lot of review out there. So you can go look for that in another video if you're interested. We're going to go ahead and get this installed because I'd like to be able to talk to my instructor at the HPDE that I have coming up. So for now, I think I'm going to do a really simple install. I'm going to create a mount here, but I don't have enough time right now. The HPDE is in 2 days. So I'm just going to use some strong double-sided tape, clean the top of my GDI box off real well, and mount it right here for the moment. That should be good. It should hold it steady. I should be able to get it installed and give it a good test before we do the HPDE in a couple days here. Make sure I'm happy with it. So it's really pretty simple. Here's the system itself, and really 2 wires, power and ground. So I'll wire that into a fuse in there. And then everything else just plugs into the back. So you've got push to talk, the radio. I'm not going to be running a radio. If I ever wanted to have a crew, I can do that. Audio out. That's something I really wanted in one of these systems when I was trying to narrow it down. So when I'm on the track, I'm going to run this to a GoPro, and then I can record conversations between this instructor and myself. Phone and audio in. Now this is a Bluetooth unit, so it has that. I'm not going to use this audio in, but you can get it without Bluetooth. I think you save $100 or something, and then you can hardwire it into your phone. I'm not going to go ahead and do that. And then these are the 4 positions for intercom. This is made for 4 positions. There's obviously only 2 in the cart, so we'll only be using 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 will not be used, but it should be a pretty simple install. Okay, I've got that mounted in there. Like I said, it's just double-sided taped in, but it's nice and secure for the moment, and I will figure out a different mounting solution later. I'm probably going to redo this completely, so this is kind of in the front and easily accessible, and maybe stack these vertically. I've got a little bit of thinking to do about what I want to do, but for the moment, for the track day and for doing a test, this is good enough. Okay, this is going to be an initial test. I have it wired to the accessory, so I should be able to turn this into accessory mode, and this should come on. Let's find out.
Hello?
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 Let's see here. It's plugged in now.
Oh, can they hear me? Can they hear me? Oh.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. I get it now. So.
All right, so we haven't gotten the car running. So I've just adjusted the Vox all the way down as you saw me do.
Yeah.
And at least initially it's working.
Mom talk.
I am gonna try the helmet headset real quick with these workside earbuds that I plan to put inside my helmet.
Dad.
So I'm gonna check those out and see how they do.
Dad.
One issue I did find in kind of checking things over, I am at, let's see if you can see it down there, 0 pressure on my oil accumulator. And in checking it out, I discovered a hole right there. It clearly melted because of this. So that's like a 4-foot hose. I'll have a little bit of time in the morning, so I think I'm gonna try and run to the hardware store and see if I can find one real quick and then wrap some heat shielding around it. The other option would be just to plug that hole and put a little bit of pressure in here so it's at least functional. So I need to address that in the morning before I head out. Before I ran off to the hardware store this morning, I rummaged around a little bit and realized I had this connector. So rather than going and buying a new hose, I just cut the bad section out, and I'm gonna throw some band clamps on here, some worm clamps, and connect it back together, and we should be good. All right, got the hose replaced, holding 40 pounds of pressure, which is where I want it. When the system is full, I did route it slightly differently so that it pulls it away from the exhaust some, because I'm pretty sure that was the problem. So we should be good to go. That's gonna do it for this video. The next one after this should be the track day, and then we'll get to the full review of the S4S system. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.